Please follow along as I read. Revelation 21, verse 1 to verse 4. Verse 1. Now I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away. Also there was no more sea. Verse 2. Then I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. Verse 3. And I heard a loud voice from heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. God himself will be with them and be their God. Verse 4. And God will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There shall be no more death, nor sorrow, nor crying. There shall be no more pain, for the former things have passed away.
I behold the angel descending from heaven, with the key to the bottomless pit, and a great chain, symbols of divine power to restrain Satan. For 1,000 years that adversary shall be bound, preventing his deception among the nations. This period aligns with the prophetic words of Isaiah 11:9, where the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord. The saints shall reign with Christ, fulfilling Daniel 7:27. These souls, having refused the mark of the beast, are blessed as expressed in Revelation 26, sharing in the first resurrection. Satan's binding echoes the limitation placed upon him in Job 1:12. He can do nothing without divine permission.
Is a summary of my interpretation of Revelation 21, 1-4. John writes that he saw a new heaven and new earth, for the first had passed away, just as Isaiah 65:17 foretold. No more sea, no chaos or separation, fulfilling the promise in Isaiah 57:20. The holy city, the New Jerusalem, descended, prepared like a bride, Isaiah 61:10, where God dwells among his people. Here, sorrow and death are no more, just as prophesied in Hosea 13:14. The voice declared, Behold, I make all things new, 2 Corinthians 5:17. The old order is abolished, as affirmed in 1 Corinthians 15:54, death swallowed in victory. Tears are wiped away, Isaiah 25:8, and mourning ceases, replaced with everlasting joy. This is the fulfillment of divine restoration, the eternal dwelling of righteousness. 2 Peter 3:13.
As I reflect on Revelation 21, 1-4, I see a glorious vision of renewal. Barnes emphasizes the comfort and hope found in God's promise. No more tears, death, or sorrow. He sees this passage as a deep assurance of heaven's peace, contrasting it with earthly suffering. Gill, however, focuses on the eschatological fulfillment, linking the new heaven and earth to God's sovereign plan. He views the passage as a literal transformation, where the elect dwell in divine communion. While Barnes highlights personal consolation, I lean toward Gill's theological depth, seeing this as the culmination of God's eternal covenant. Both perspectives enrich my understanding of this promise.
Revelation 21, verse 5. Then he who sat on the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said to me, Write, for these words are true and faithful. Verse 6. And he said to me, It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give of the fountain of the water of life freely to him who thirsts. Verse 7. He who overcomes shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son. Verse 8. But the cowardly, unbelieving, abominable, murderers, sexually immoral, sorcerers, idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake, which burns with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
My view on Revelation 21, verses 4 through 8, reveals God's promise of eternal restoration. Isaiah 25 verse 8 affirms, and I quote, "He will swallow up death forever," end quote, while 1 Corinthians 15, verses 54 and 55 declares, "Death is swallowed up in victory." Verse 4 assures us God himself will wipe away every tear, bringing true comfort. Isaiah 65, verse 17 and 2 Peter 3:13 confirm the new heaven and earth, showing complete renewal. Verse 7 promises inheritance to overcomers, but verse 8 warns of judgment. Galatians 5, verses 19 through 21 and Revelation 20:15 stress the fate of the unfaithful. This passage offers hope for believers and a call to live faithfully in anticipation of God's promise.
Gill and Guzik provide distinct yet complementary interpretations of Revelation 21, verses 5 through 8. Gill emphasizes God's sovereign authority, linking the renewal of all things to Isaiah 65, verse 17, while Guzik highlights the personal transformation believers experience. Gill focuses on Christ as the Alpha and Omega, offering the water of life, John 7:37, whereas Guzik underscores the overcomer's inheritance, Romans 8:17. Both warn of judgment, citing Revelation 20:15 and Galatians 5, verses 19 through 21, revealing the balance between justice and grace. Together, their insights deepen our understanding of God's final promise.
Truly, these verses describe the war to end all wars. The rebellious nations, deceived by Satan, march against the saints and the beloved city. But divine judgment is swift. Fire from heaven consumes them, as seen in the prophetic battle of Gog and Magog. Ezekiel 38 and 39. The devil, their deceiver, is cast into the lake of fire, joining the beast and false prophet, mirroring the prior judgment in Revelation 19, verse 20. Their torment is eternal, as foretold in Isaiah 14, verse 15, which speaks of Satan's downfall, and Matthew 25, verse 41, where Christ warns of everlasting fire prepared for the devil and his angels. No more shall he deceive the nations. His reign of terror is finished, and righteousness prevails forever.
I found that their interpretations were nearly identical. However, the unanswered questions are who was Gog and who was Magog. Gog is described as a leader from the land of Magog, leading a coalition of nations against Israel, Ezekiel 38 and 39. Magog is listed as a descendant of Noah's son Japheth, Genesis 10, verse 2. The geographical location of Magog has been widely debated, but many scholars associate it with regions in modern-day Russia, Turkey, and Central Asia. Some theologians suggest Magog could represent northern territories beyond Israel, possibly including parts of Russia and surrounding nations. Gog and Magog appear again in the New Testament, representing nations deceived by Satan in a final rebellion against God. Revelation 20, verses 7 and 8. Who is right? You decide. Thank you for tuning in. This will end this video of Revelation 20, verses 1 through 8. Our next video will be on Revelation 20, verses 11 through 15, entitled The Great White Throne Judgment. You don't want to miss this one. Feel free to add your comments to this video. And please visit our forum held each Sunday beginning at 9:30 a.m. I sure hope to see you this week. Until then, may God bless you and yours.